Welcome to the one-on-one with Modupe.
That's why they quickly take their uniform off because they are vulnerable.
There is no way, from the layman's point of view.
Thank you very much, to come and do their wire fell down and their what the R is V in mafia manager called the Capone the Titi Capi became a worse godfather than everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to 101 on TSA Nigeria TV. I'm so excited coming around this morning again because I have a guest with me on set this morning. I don't need to tell you how much it took me to bring this guest on set this morning. He's the executive chairman of Oredo local government area. That's like one of the biggest local government area in the state.
You can say so.
Okay, the biggest local government area is actually the flagship local government area in Edo State where all the eyes are on, because that's the local government that generates one of the largest IGR in the state. I have with me on set this morning Honorable Evbareke Jenkins Osunde. You're welcome, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's get started. Local governments, starting from the pre-colonial era, pre-independence, independence, post-independence, the whole essence of the local government is to be able to bring governance down to the grassroots. But in recent times, we've seen local governments, as it were, as an appendage of the state government. What is your take on this, sir?
Well, first, let me thank you for this opportunity to come on your program. I'm humbled by it, and I think also it's a good opportunity for me to relate with my people at home and in diaspora. I can not speak for other states, but I can speak for Edo State. As you know it, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki is known for discipline, is known for keeping and abiding by the rules of law. So in Edo State, local government has never been an appendage of the state government. Rather, what has happened over time, at least since the inception of my administration, is that His Excellency the Governor has ensured that there is accountability, there is good governance, and there is delivery on promises made to the people during our electionary campaign. And he has also ensured, which is a departure from the past, that local government must honor their obligations to not only its staff, but to the people who voted them into power. That is why you see that in Edo State particularly, you no longer see pensioners who used to be donned in black attires, sit and occupy the streets because their pensions are not paid. You no longer see workers demonstrating because they are not paid their salaries. It is important to note that since the inception of my administration, I met a mountain of debts, which included 6 months salary arrears. And so far, I have been able to clear 5 months of the 6 months salary arrears, and I've never owed salaries till date, since I came into office on the 5th of March 2018. So the governor also ensures that he sits at the head of the Joint Appropriation Allocation Committee meeting every month. In other states, it's at commissioner level.
Okay.
Why does he do that? It's because he expects everyone to be prudent. He expects you to be accountable for the funds that that you get. He expects you, as a chairman, to ensure that you are on top of your internally generated revenue to cushion shocks. Because over time, the federal allocation has taken a nosedive. Yeah. And for you to be able to balance issues, your internally generated revenue, you must be on top of it so that you can make adjustments, be able to pay salaries and all other forms of benefits, and then also do projects that will, serve the people.
Now, sir, let me come in here.
Yes.
You said something now that the state governor, he ensures that you as a chairman, you deliver on your campaign promises.
Yes.
Now, the question we asked you was that it look as if the local government is like an appendage of the state government. So for it to take the state governor to be the one that should remind the local government chairman of his responsibility, don't you think? Because you were elected into office, not appointed by the state governor.
Yes.
So should it be the state governor that should be the one to do checks and balances on your activities?
No, let that not be misconstrued.
Okay, sir.
You are accountable to the people.
Okay, not the state governor.
You
I
are
just wanted to be clear.
You are accountable to the people.
Okay.
And whatever you do as the executive chairman of a local government, you are not on your own. Because you have a legislative arm that monitors whatever you do. And as it were, there's a joint appropriation allocation. Okay. The funds used to come through the state, which means that the money will have to be shared at that appropriation committee level. So the indices that come into that meeting will show how much you got, hitherto, how it was spent, what you have as bank balance, what you have spent on projects. You understand what I'm saying? The meeting does not just hold without somebody steering it.
Okay.
The governor sits at the head of that meeting, and all this information are exchanged at that level. You understand what I'm saying? So, and all these things that you hear in other states, that the governors tamper with their funds, doesn't happen in Edo State.
Because what we hear most times is that for you as a local government, for most local government chairmen,
yes,
for them to be able to carry out projects, even in their jurisdiction, their locality,
yes,
they need to seek approval from the state governor.
That is not correct.
Okay.
That is not correct. You have a budget. Okay. Which is looked at and maybe.
Who looks at this budget?
Is the legislative arm.
Okay. The state governor doesn't have any input as far as the budget is concerned.
At all. The legislative arm does the vetting.
Okay.
If they are convinced that it's a good budget, they pass it. If they don't, then they will ask you to answer some questions. And then once that is done, you get going with whatever you want to do. You get one. So in Edo State, it is so glaring that the local government is independent of the state. Okay. Because you do what you have promised the people, and within the financial limits of your IGR and what comes as a federal allocation. Okay. So that is we at least we enjoy that independence in
Edo State.
In Edo State.
Okay,
yes.
Can you please juxtapose that with the current space of suspension, sack that's going on among local government chairmen in the state?
I would not like to comment on that. I would not like to comment on that because
why I'm saying this is because if there's a suspension of local government chairmen now, yes, this is not when it started. We've seen in the past administration how local government chairmen were suspended, and their suspended led to their sack, and the courts, even some that got rulings from the court that they should be reinstated, they were never reinstated. That's the reason why we are trying to use all these questions to try and really dig into the autonomy of the local government. Are they existing as a tier of government on their own, or they are just a conjoined twin to the state government?
I'm happy you mentioned the courts. I would not like to be in contempt.
Okay, of the courts.
Yes.
So you are not going to go into that area?
I will not.
Okay,
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, one of the reasons why the local government area is being set up is for you to have power, authority, responsibilities, and also resources for you to be able to administer your local government area. I want to ask you, talking about, I'm still going back to the same autonomy issue. That's what, before we go into various projects that you have handled so far, because I know you came here with a dose of projects that you have carried out in your local government area. Right now, talking about autonomy, local government autonomy, is there any way you would want to have more autonomy as far as running your local government is concerned?
As far as I'm concerned,
you are very okay with this.
I don't see what other autonomy we need in Edo State, because we are quite independent.
Very independent.
Yes, very independent. Yes.
Okay, now providing basic amenities. So far, it's been months. You say you came into power in March, right?
Yes.
Okay, from there till now, what can you point out? Because we see reports online, because we are in the online aspect of the media arm, and we keep seeing news where they say there's a name they actually call you. You've not heard about the new name. I'm going to tell you for the first time now. They say Evbareke Jenkins, the already local government chairman, is the signboard chairman. That he doesn't do any project, he puts signboard in the project. So what do you have to say as far as this? Because what are the projects you feel you have carried out so far that is close enough to reach out to the common man in your local government area?
I want to thank you very much for that question. That's the beauty of democracy. You will have people who will always criticize you.
Yes.
You will have people who will appreciate you. You know, but I welcome constructive criticism. And it's important that you also hear me out on some issues.
Yes.
So that's why I'm thanking you for this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
When I came into office, like I told you, I met a mountain of debts, which to me, government is the continuer. I had to settle. First, the workers that are working with me will need to be happy to do their work. And when a man has worked, he deserves his wages.
Yeah.
So I set out to ensure that the arrears of salaries were paid. Like I told you, 5 months out of 6 months we are paid. And I also said that I will not owe salaries before I leave office. And that has been the case. And then I also found out that it is important that I improve on the internally generated revenue for me to be able to carry out projects and then, you know, pay some other, attend to some other obligations. So I set out, first of all, to ensure that the revenue department was rejuvenated.
Okay.
So I put measures in place. I created an ICT department, first and foremost, so that we can have a database, which was not there hitherto. And then I fixed the vehicles. I retrained the staff, and then digitalized the operations.
Okay.
The IGR was a little over 40 million. At our peak, after all these things were put in place, we were between 60 and 70, you know, and which was modest to me compared to where, you know, we will likely be if we have everything in place. Yes. And we are looking at even surpassing 100 million. So we are putting measures in place to ensure that we achieve that. And then we set out to address different issues. First and foremost, the environment where you work has to be comfortable. the people who are working with you have to be mobile. So we ensured that the relevant staff had vehicles, bought new vehicles. Then there was the building was in a bad shape, so we had to de-roof and re-roof the building. A conference room, a conference hall where we normally have extended meetings and all that, we had to revamp. We revamped a whole lot of things. We revamped the entire building, and then we moved on to addressing the people. There have been communities in Benin City. It will shock you. They have no access roads. They have no access roads to even bring their farm produce to the city. So we opened up about 16 communities. So across the length and breadth of the 12 wards of Edo State, of Oredo local government, sorry, we graded over 40 roads, earth roads, and opened up all these communities to the admiration of the residents. You know, now they can bring their produce to the market. They can also access other communities. We also said, okay, let us also ensure that they have markets where they take their produce to. We just finished the Ekai market, which is ready for commissioning. We are going to lay the foundation stone very soon, because the contract, the award is going to be about next week, of Costain Isonoro market, which is supposed to be a vegetable market. That is, we want to take all the people who are currently squatting around the New Benin axis to that market. So it will be a vegetable market, as it were. And there's going to be a modern abattoir in that place. The money is ready, the design is ready, and we are going to start on that. Then we also looked at our schools. There's room for counterpart funding. So we engaged the European Union and the CSDP. With the CSDP, we did our counterpart funding for 11 projects across the length and breadth of Oredo local government. 3 of those projects, we are going to lay the foundation stone within the month, with 7 outstanding, because 1 is ongoing. That's the Computer Braille Center at Arosa. And we built a 3-classroom block at Uholo, and a town hall at Ebukunde. The one in Uholo we built and we furnished. Okay. The town hall at Ebukunde, ready, occupied, furnished. And then we moved on. What do we do? There were a lot arising from frequent peace and security meetings. There was a need for us to do some house numbering, because whenever there was fire or any form of crime, the people cannot even tell the security agencies what their address is. You know, so we engaged our town planners. We went to the street. We started, numbering the streets, and you can see that also improved the aesthetics of the local government. And you can see all around the metropolis, street legends are coming up here and there, and it's an ongoing project. We are still going on. We are going on the Iri axis now, Oko, Ebo, and then we have done Mission Road, we have done Okpaba, Airport Road, And we also thought about the fact that people don't have anywhere to let their hair down, after hard work. No park, no recreational facility. And we said, well, what do we do to create a park where people can come, sit down, and be near a fountain, which is, for me, therapeutic. Sit down, relax, and have your brain massaged. So we did that park
close
at
to your secretariat.
yes, park at King Square. Which we have a few more things to just put in place. Will be open to the public this month. And it's also accessible for those who come to our secretariat to get married.
Okay,
you know, they go there for photo shoot and all that. It's a better environment for them to do that. So once that is ready, for it to, you know, that place is supposed to outlive my stay in office. So we'll be charging a token for us to continue to maintain the facility. The garden, there's a garden near us that hosts a royal statue.
Okay.
You know, we also did that and we are maintaining it. And we also decided that we take the pressure of our children, you know, of having to clear overgrown grasses and all that. And we have been doing that on a regular basis in all the schools and fumigating.
Okay.
We also have been revamping our health centers, you know, for our residents to be able to have a one-stop shop for medical reasons. So we have done the one at Saple Road now. The one at New Benin is about to commence. The one at Arogba is functioning. And there are a whole lot more that we need to do. And the reports we are getting, and from what we are getting, people are happy. Instead of going to Central Hospital, which should be a secondary, you know, level, when the primary healthcare center cannot take care of any your needs, then you step it up, you escalate it. But people are happy with what they are seeing. And the state government is also doing a lot in that regard, you know, ensuring that all these healthcare centers are also going to be present in every ward.
Okay.
We also went further to see how we can address the needs of our youths. We have a skill acquisition center, which we have completely renovated and furnished.
Okay. Where's that
That's
located?
at Ugbo.
Okay.
Ugbo. That is operational as we speak. That is run by the office of the wife of the chairman, who is a biochemist turned fashion designer, with other instructors in various skills like computer,
so they do all that. They do
all that there. We have over 100 as we speak. Over 100 trainees there, and the turnaround period is 3 months.
Okay.
You know, and after that they'll be giving starter packs.
Okay.
We also have another one.
Is it in form of grants or?
It could be in form of grants or whatever equipment they need for them to start. Okay. You know, to occupy them.
Honorable, I'm sorry to cut you short now.
Yeah.
Now, the whole essence why we have the local government is for you to be able to bring these governors to the grassroots. You see, you have a lot that you have done, many of which I'm not even aware of. I'm not even aware of the skills center. Maybe you're not doing much. Maybe you need to revamp your media team now so that we can be aware. And I want to believe that the way I'm in the dark, that's how a lot of persons online, they're in the dark also. Now, the question I want to ask is this. How often do you organize town hall meetings?
Thank you very much. Hitherto, we call clergymen, we call ward committees, and we tell them what we do in every ward, and we tell them we ask them what their expectations are.
I'm coming. I'm going to cut you short now. You see, because what we've found out so far with local governments chairmen is this. And most often the time, that meeting, that town, what they call town hall meeting, is actually political gatherings of their party faithfuls. You understand my point?
Yes.
Because a town hall meeting, you are not supposed to call the clergymen and your ward members. It's supposed to be open to everybody within that jurisdiction, so that they come and tell you what they want. Because we discovered that you have multiple projects you've done, but If at the end of the day, after doing all this project, the people are still saying you've not done anything, it's like somebody that is hungry and you are trying to give the person something that is different from food. The person is bound to complain. I don't know if you're getting my point.
Thank you very much. I think if you had, I think if you had allowed me finish, you would have.
Okay, let's hear. Let's
it's
hear.
a cross section of people that we call. I just named a few.
Okay.
The ward committees will interest you to know that the ward committees we have in every ward is apolitical.
Okay.
We have professionals. We have cross, party people. We have residents of every ward in that committee. It's checkable. It exists in every ward, in every local government.
And how often? How often do you
monthly? Monthly,
so
yes.
You hold town hall meetings
monthly. We rotate it from ward to ward, because if you call all of them together in one town hall, you cannot achieve what you want to achieve, because the needs of a particular ward is different from another. Or it will become a rowdy session. So what we do is that we move from ward to ward to ask them, what are your expectations? Look at what we have for you. And then we listen to the people. Instead of just going to cite a project somewhere where they don't need that project, we hear from them. What exactly all these projects I've been reeling out to you are projects that the people asked us to do, because we interact with them. So based on that, because you want people to appreciate what you do.
Yes.
They tell you we have like 3-4 boreholes in a particular ward. Why do you need to go and cite them? And they are strategically located. Okay. All you need to do is to ensure that the boreholes are functional, rather than in the past you just say, oh, people depart from what others have done, and they say, oh, I want to establish mine. It doesn't make sense to me. They call it my legacy. Yes, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. You fix the ones that are there. Yeah. If they need a transformer, you give them a transformer, rather than sink another borehole. So that is how we attack issues. Then at the end, you are able to relate with the people. You hear them out. They hear you out. They know what your programs are, and that's how it goes. But there's a section. You must have a section of people in the society who always criticize you, and that is okay anyway. That's the essence of democracy. Okay. You see, when you are not a loud person, naturally, and you really do what you have to do to ensure that you bring what you do to the people. You don't need the cameras or microphone to follow you everywhere you go, for people to know that you are doing something. But this is governance. You need to let the people know what you're doing and what has been done and what is yet to be done. But yes, we do that. Okay. We do that. It's never enough. It's never enough. Mm-hmm. You understand? Your imagination of how your media coverage should be. It's not my imagination. Opinions differ. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? If you watch television, you see me on television doing one thing or the other. You see my programs on television. I'm just coming from the Central Park now, where we are doing some palliatives, and we are doing sanitation. We are evacuating refuse from the Central Park. I also come to that. Yes. It took you so long for you to come into that project and be able to find solutions. You see, you don't just attack a project and end up with nothing. The park, that Central Park, has a design. Okay. Has a design that was fashioned out by His Excellency and his team. Okay. And it was going to be a holistic approach. Mm-hmm. But you know that, before you execute a project, you have to have everything in place, including funding, including personnel and all that. It's a process. But when we became aware that we had to do some palliatives quickly, we went in and we did what we have to do. I need to ask you a question to ensure Let me ask you this question. Happy. I want to ask you this question, Honorable. You see, the issue a lot of persons they had is, with the Central Park was this. The Central Hospital
was not opened for the public because they felt that there's the need for some equipment to be brought in or some things need to put in place for it to be open to the public.
Yes.
But how come the Central Park was opened for use when nothing has been done so far as far as the project is concerned? How do you marry both?
Well, you know that the Central Park was not in that condition when the place was open. It was very okay. The drivers did not complain when because you know that as at that time, the city center was a mess.
It was.
And the surrounding was a mess.
A huge one.
The adjoining roads,
bad.
Total mess.
Yeah.
Because people were setting up illegal parks here and there. And the government felt the need to centralize this operation. That's why all the buses and taxi cabs were brought into that park.
Even when it wasn't ready.
Into that park. The design was ongoing. The design became ready. The design became ready. You know, but residents were complaining. People were complaining about the activities of these people, including the commuters.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. But when the people were the buses and the taxis were eventually moved to the central, people applauded it. You know, and when we had this situation, due to rains and all that and the constant usage, of course there will be wear and tear. You know, so when also we had to address the issue, we addressed. The sanitation is there are palliatives going on as we speak. We are cutting away we are evacuating the refuse, and in no time you will see that work will start there. And if you see the model of that park, it's a fantastic design. You know that the people will appreciate.
Okay, that's fine. You see, our time is fast spent. It's actually up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you this question: the issue of street trading.
Yes.
There was a report. Okay, there was an issue that happened a few months ago when we had people shouting online that, come on, a situation when someone is arrested for street trading and is sent straight to the courts, that is not people-friendly at all. It's sent to the prison, I mean, that is not people-friendly at all. That there should be punitive measures that is not as stringent as that, because you are there to serve the people and not to suffer the people.
Again, I want to thank you for this opportunity. Because when that happened, somebody brought it to my knowledge that the social media was awash with Oredo being behind that. And I found that very shocking. For me, it's not something I will ever do for people who know me. You understand? I say that people must do things properly. People must obey the rule of law. But street trading is not it's not within my purview. Okay. If people had asked or bothered to ask, or those who went to social media with wrong information had bothered to ask me, which they eventually apologized for, they would have known that it wasn't me. All I do, if you look at local government has to do with, you know, markets, ensuring that operational markets are clean, you know, various things that local government must do. But it's not part of our, there are separate bodies that deal with such issues. And again, I'm not holding brief for anybody, but you know that the government of Governor Evbareke frowns at intimidation, frowns at people being intimidated or people subjected to inhumane treatment. And it's not in our character to do so. You know, but some people will always want to go to press and paint you in very bad picture. Yeah. That is beauty of democracy. But it is important that we also be fair and just in finding out whether those accusations or allegations are true before we go to press.
Because this is the era of fake news.
Yeah, thank you.
If for it to fly, most times it has to be fake.
Thank you very much.
Fake enough to fly.
Thank you very much. That's why, you know, as I came in here and sat with you, I was very impressed. Impressed in the sense that, you know, the setting, your questions are candid, you know, and you are given an opportunity to hear to hear the other side. And, you know, it's an opportunity for you to also ventilate what you know, so that the people will be able to understand that this is what you have done and this is what you have not done. There are a whole lot of things that I needed to talk about, but because of time, you know, but I will always ask you to ask me to come, or give me the opportunity to come and let the people know, because I want to interact with the people. It's in my nature to do so, because they voted me into power, and my obligation to them cannot be taken for granted at all.
Lastly, I'm going to give, this is going to serve like your parting words for the people now. Now, you see, already the local government area of Edo State is a very peculiar one. Peculiar because of the demography. We have a lot of youth residing in your local government. A lot of them compared to other local government areas.
Yes.
Now, just recently we had Ovia local government, Ovia Southwest or Southeast, that they did an economic summit, Odua, 2019 or thereabouts. One would expect, because of the peculiar nature of already local government area, we should be seeing things like this. Things that is meant to empower the youth and to do a clear-cut part as far as improving the economy of the state is concerned. This is where I'm in Oredo. I'm a businessman in Oredo. I want the economy of Oredo to improve so that I can do well in my business. That's going to serve as your parting words. So you're going to throw light on this and wrap up this show for this morning.
I want to thank you very much. As part of the things that I've done is empowering the youths and empowering the women.
Okay.
We encourage small-scale and medium-scale investments. We have empowered many women across the 12 wards of rural local government. We have also empowered the youths. As we speak, we are training the youths on digital revenue collection. Okay. As we speak.
The youths?
Yes. It's taking place at Rockwater. And also, we have engaged them in enumeration of market stalls, of houses before we go into the production of plaques and all that. And we also do a lot of interactions with them. For those who want to acquire skills, we also encourage them to go to a skill acquisition center. There's only one now that we are working in collaboration with the National Director of Employment to train some youths to acquire skills. About the summit, if one local government has done it, does not mean that another local government is not in line to do. It doesn't matter who does it first.
So maybe
we have plans. In fact, the plans are already in place. But of course, you know, the Allow Summit is on the way. You know, we don't want to take the wind out of the sail. Okay. We don't want to, you know, we want that to pass, and then we can come up with ours.
Wonderful.
We are happy people like you come to us.
Wonderful.
And tell us how you did this, so that we can also encourage our youths to look at what you do and be independent and be able to acquire some skills.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise, I must say, the good people of Oredo have been very fantastic, and I want to thank them for the opportunity and privilege they have given me to be their chairman. And I will not take that trust and confidence for granted. So I want to also tell them that they must feel free to always let me know where they need me to do more, and I will always come back to them and interact with them on very many issues, including the projects that they want cited in their locality. So I want to thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Evbareke Jenkins Osunde. It is on this note that we want to wrap up this program this morning. Our good people of Oredo, you heard from your chairman. You see the list of projects that he has embarked upon, and he has said that he still had a lot to put in place before his tenure come to an end. Thank you very much for joining us every now and then for one-on-one on TSC Nigeria TV. But please do well to help share this video. You can download the TSC Nigeria TV mobile app on the App Store and the Play Store. Thank you very much.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.